Hey folks, and welcome to Love Local Live. We are Witches Leap, and this is series 2 of this awesome event. We want to start off, before I even do anything else, just to say thank you to the Blue Mountain City Council and all of the people who are involved, Fusion Boutique, Shelter Studios. You guys are here already. It's just awesome as a musician to know that your local community is going to back it, and when times are really hard, jump up. So thanks to all of those people, and more importantly, big respect to all of those Aboriginal people who are tuning in. We're on Aboriginal land. Want to pay our respects to the Darug, the Gundungurra mob, and probably if we did it better, we'd be saying Nullawa Midiga. Getting there. The first song we've got is about an Aboriginal woman from Tasmania who was a bushranger / freedom fighter. But her story never really got told too much, like so many great Aboriginal women in our history. And I want to give a big thanks to Auntie Jacinta Tobin, who taught me how to count to 2, and I worked up to 3. And there's a little bit of that counting. Yeah. So there's a language warning in this song. We slip into Darug for a little bit here and then there's a little bit of Irish too. All right. So this is Black Mary. Black Mary took her bargain blade to gather oysters on the rocky shore. Told out to cross the naked stone, the convict Michael, how she saw. She saw the waltz that cut his back, and though his skin was whiter than the sand, he was no spirit, he was man. Black Mary took him to a cave where her convict he did wait. With black potions and a woman's tender hand, Michael Howe grew strong again. Until the time it came to run, for though Black Mary had chosen her own man, she was promised to another's hand. Black Mary and her man went down to the Governor Davis farm. Though the troopers' muskets they did steal, not a single soul was harmed. They opened many a rich man's door, and from the chain gangs to Sarah Island shore, the names in rebel songs were sung. With Black Mary's bush law at his side, Michael Howe roamed far and wide. Though the hand of fate is often cruel, and a man brought low by pride. For that man and the troopers found their camp was the same morning. Mary scarce could stand, she carried the white numb's child. Back to Hobart Town for a rent a hole. To the governor's pleasure, told her lies. Damn your eyes. If the kid got through it all, the history books don't say. Stories always written by the kids who won the day.
Blackberry.
All right, cool. So I'm going to do an instrument switch now and put on my fancy shoes.
You're going to move your chair and everything. You've got a lot of stuff to do, actually. So maybe we should just repeat. Thank you very much to Blue Mountain City Council, Fusion Boutique and Shelter Studios for organising this fantastic program. This is the second lot of, I can't say it, you practice saying it, I can't say it. Love Local Live.
It's actually very catchy once you start.
La la la. That's it.
So I've got these fancy op shop shoes. And I'm going to do a little shout out to North Katoomba Cancer Help Op Shop. They got me these
just a few
lovely.
Over that way.
Yeah, just a few. Yeah, you could almost fall out the door and go shopping from here, but they're closed right now. So stay at home, people, right now.
Stay at home in front of your computers.
Yes, I was having some trouser problems, and I managed to get that sorted out by the Cancer Help Op Shop without a problem at all. In any case, enough product placement. We're going to do this next song, which is one I wrote after. I've always been really in love with the aspect of how the Canadians have got a French part of Canada, and was it last week that we had Vanessa and Dan of Piccolo Bear, who've actually been spending some time in Canada, which was another good reason to be jealous of Canada. But I wrote this song after kind of thinking about how close it could have been, that there could have been like a French colony in Tasmania, and I'm imagining that the Tasmanian people who were originally there first probably wouldn't have been any more impressed. However, today we would have had, for instance, not just Freycinet Peninsula and towns like Signet, but we also would have had a whole French culture there and, like a Quebecois Australian. So I've written this song using what they do in Quebec. If you've ever seen Jean Decorum or one of those bands, they do this foot percussion thing with leather shoes. So that's why I put shoes on. And it's going to feature a few bush tucker things here and there. It's a bit of a recipe for like a pie with a stew involved. I want to give a bit of a special shout out also while I'm jabbering on to Julian Joel Clement, also known as Julian Castagnaro, who's left the Blue Mountains, who is our resident, one of our many residents. There's a few French people here, but he actually helped me with the writing of this song because these guys can actually speak a bit of French. Oui?
Unfair.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, see? But Julian helped me kind of work through rather than just relying on Google Translate, which is not the most.
It's good to have an actual French person.
Yeah, real French person, yeah, who's lived in Australia long enough to make it sound just Australian as well. Okay, so enough chit-chat. Placez la clavicule de wombat dans un pot de fer. Placez l'articulation de wallaby dans un pot de fer. Ajoutez les champignons, pas natifs, à bouillir à peu doux. Ajoutez les feuilles de kunzia, à bouillir à peu doux. Ajoutez les baies rouges et de l'ail, à bouillir à peu doux. Que le roast beef en farme et la poudre masse blottie dans le fer. Que le roast beef en farme et la poudre masse avec le foie. Nous serons enfermés dans un gros camembert et le pinot noir de Freycinet. Nous serons enfermés dans un gros camembert et le pinot noir de Freycinet. Les bons bacons du Signet, c'est de notre bafouet. Pinot noir de Freycinet, c'est de notre bafouet. Voici les mattenbirds hachés dans la poule de diabanat. Voici des œufs de pingouin dans la poule de diabanat. Du lait du vin blanc et de thym dans la poule de diabanat. Que le roast beef en farme et la poudre masse blottie dans le fer. Que le roast beef en farme et la poudre masse avec le foie. Nous serons enfermés dans un gros camembert et le pinot noir de Freycinet. Nous serons enfermés dans un gros camembert et le pinot noir de Freycinet. clavicule de wombat dans nos pots de fer. Même oui, là, tu les champs de wallaby dans nos pots de fer. J'oute les champignons, en bouillir à patou. J'oute les feuilles de kunzia, bouillir à patou. J'oute les verres rouges de l'ail, bouillir à patou. Que l'on speak van Parma, la pauvre masse partie d'enfer. Que l'on speak van Parma, la pauvre masse avec la foi. Nous serons enfermés dans mon gros camembert et de pininois de Freycinet. Nous serons enfermés dans mon gros camembert et de pininois de Freycinet. Il en faut à basse température pendant 3 heures. Well done rolling with that.
Rolling with what?
Oh, hello. We've got lots of comments.
Oh, there's people.
Ooh, hi, people. Yay.
Hey, Danae. Hey, Max.
Amelia finally came to one of our gigs. Amelia bought tickets to one of our less well patronised gigs, but then forgot to turn up.
Oh, really? That was why it was less better.
But we appreciated the money that she spent on us.
What am I doing now? Getting the pipes
You're getting
out.
the pipes out.
Yikes.
Do I need to talk about this? Oh, I guess. Oh, no. You can talk
Look.
about this. I'll talk about the next one.
Alrighty. Yep. So I'm going to put on this very safety-conscious instrument, the uilleann pipes. Have we ever done the bagpipes joke, the uilleann pipes joke?
No.
It's the only instrument that comes
With its own
with its own seatbelt. It's the safest instrument there is. It's also like when you start playing bagpipes, it's a good way to kind of get the social distancing started as well. Very COVID safe instrument as well.
Any form of bagpipes. We have a number of COVID-safe instruments. in this video.
Banjo just makes people want to cuddle you. That's still in tune, isn't it? Eh?
Yes.
We don't want that bit
Like
yet.
my guitar.
Unlike your guitar. Are you plugged in and unmuted?
I am. I remember that as well.
Hello. We want to give a bit of a special shout out to Miles, who's on the desk there. Miles, you're doing a fabulous job. We're only acoustic with the stomp box at the moment, although the stomp box, there it is. But he's been fabulous looking after us thus far. I'm hoping it sounds good at home. I'm sure it does. We're going to do a song, two tunes. One's called Blue Labyrinth, after a little part of the mountains that are kind of really twisty and turny, and the tune's kind of twisty and turny. I actually went camping in the Blue Labyrinth. I'll tell you guys about that.
No.
And it was
And
awesome.
you came out again.
And
Yeah,
I
you
managed
to get back.
managed
Well
to,
done.
especially considering, there
There's
was a
some
hip
special
flask
magic
involved as well.
happening.
Yeah, maybe that's how I got out.
Ah, right.
Or maybe it ejected me. I don't know. And then after that, we're doing another tune, which is a trad Irish tune called Sporting Paddy, which is where it gets a bit faster. So I'm going to pass it over to the
was
magnificent
sporting.
Jade Tinkler to introduce the next two tunes which she has written. And we've got some people. Oh, there's my daughter. Hey, Bibs. And Sharon. Oh, look, Jeff Jones.
More power to your elbow.
and-
there's a piping thing.
And my mother-in-law.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yes.
Lovely.
And anyway, sorry, I did say I was going to pass it over to you, and then I just started talking. It was like not a great moment of theatre.
We are going to play a couple more tunes on pipes and flute and guitar. The last set, apart from Spotting Paddy, which is a traditional Irish tune, was all written by Paddy. This set is all written by me. We have a couple of jigs. A jig called Bet on the Rain, which is about an actual bet on the actual rain, which kind of didn't turn up in the end. But anyway,
Who won? Yes,
I think that I won, but I'm not sure that whether there was really any winner
Rain
or
was
not.
winner on the day.
Yeah. And the other one is called Miss a Flig, which we used to do with another trad tune, but now we have two of one. And we get to use the extra little bits. You can talk about them if you
The
like.
extra bits. Of course, I know so many people watch us all the time. You will have noticed there is something slightly more fancy about my pipes here. I've got these extra little guys here, which I made myself.
I'm just going to interrupt you, Paddy.
Yep.
Apparently, we are also broadcasting live now on Blue Mountains Live RBM 89.1 FM.
I'll go Radio Blue Mountains. Thanks,
That's
Brad.
awesome. Thank you. Cool.
Radio Blue Mountains is an awesome bunch of people, so it's great to have them back and all of this sort of stuff too. Anyway, so these little bits here make an extra. So now the pipes have got there's a drone which starts this off, and then there's this extra little kind of, noises, extra noises that happen that can, irritate people or charm them, as the case may be, in a whole new different way. So we're going to start with that. So you get to hear that. That features at the beginning, doesn't it?
It does.
Yes.
There you
All
go.
right. Let's go.
Cool. I feel like we should do a little shout out to the Celtic Piping Club of Australia, because we have a gig where we perform that as part of a concert
November
soon.
the 8th, apparently.
Yeah.
I'm told.
So if
That
you
is
want to catch
being-
that up and you're into bagpipes, and who is not into bagpipes, November the 8th, maybe.
November the 8th, I believe.
Celtic Piping Club Australia. Is that the Facebook page where you find the link?
Celtic Piping Club of Australia, yes, I believe. They have an online concert of Australian bagpipe music, of all kinds of bagpipes. This kind,
And
other
And the
kinds.
other kinds. The big ones, the little ones,
Little ones,
the loud ones. It's really quite awesome. Yeah. So I actually should have used that time when we were spruiking to put this away, because we're going to put this guy down to look pretty for a little while and
grab a guitar.
yeah.
It is. And look, even I'm being so nice, I'm passing
You
it
are
to you,
so nice.
even though I told you off before. There you go.
Oh. Okay, I'm not going to need that again.
Oh, thanks. Rachel Hall says, I love the flute part in that one. Thanks, Rachel.
That's
The
good.
flute part loves you too.
Alrighty, well, it's good, Rachel Hall, because you're about to hear a whole bunch more flute, as a matter of fact. I'm just going to have to get myself in tune first.
'Cause otherwise I'll be very cranky.
Well, you won't be alone. I'll be cranky too. Alrighty.
You want to introduce your song and then I'll play my thing.
Okay, so so this we're going to do two things now. We're going to do a solo flute slow air, and in Irish music, slow air is it's an unusual and cool tradition where you just get one instrument play a piece that's a song, but kind of tweaked and made really slow and even more gorgeous. And that's a song called "Parting of Friends." And before I do the next one, I want to also recognise that how great it is that this is a song related to war. I think it's really good that in the Blue Mountains we've actually got a peace memorial. Wherever you go, whatever small town you go to, there's lots of war memorials, and justly so. We need to remember the horrors of war and not let it be forgotten. But it is also nice that we remember peace, and we remember those people that stood up for peace. This song is about a guy that the song that follows the flute is about a boxer and an Irish Australian boxer by the name of Les Darcy, he was like Australia's greatest boxer, some say, and unfortunately, when World War I came along, and he refused to take part, as a lot of Irish Australians and a lot of Unionists and a lot of other people didn't actually think that going off to an imperialistic war was such a great idea. He was unable to fight. He was hounded by the press, and he was basically sent to an early grave. So this song goes out to him and all of those people that stand up for what's right and for what they believe in, and also for those people that stand up for peace, because we need that. We start with Parting of Friends, and we'll move into Les Darcy. Les Darcy left the farm and went to town. He was still a country boy, kept 2 feet on the ground. When he strapped his gloves on and stepped into the ring, people come from all around to see him take a swing. To see him take a swing. Les Darcy fooled the best the world had seen, till get him a goody Sunday punch and then knocked him out clean. Never did he go out whoring or drinking gin. Looking after his family was the poor boy's only sin. Was the poor boy's only sin. Les Darcy was the country's pride and joy, but it was his poor mum's only hope to feed her girls and boys. When the British Empire went to war for foolish pride, the rich newspapers beat the drum to send poor boys to die. To send poor boys to die. Agitators dogged him right and left. He said, I'll lead other young men to go out to their deaths. It takes one kind of courage charging out when bullets fly. Takes another kind to face white feathers when your country lies. It takes one kind of courage charging out when bullets fly. Takes another kind to face white feathers when your country lies. It takes one kind of courage charging out when bullets fly. Takes another kind to face white feathers when your country lies. When your country lies. When your country lies. When your country lies. Oh, thanks, Mari.
We've got our corrected thing for our bagpipe concert.
Oh, good job.
CelticPipingClub.com, which you can find in the comments on the live stream if you have a look at the comments.
So the moment everyone's been actually waiting for, though, is banjo time. We've got another flute tune written by the very super talented Jade. Do you want to do some chit-chat about what this one means? Because we haven't actually explained this one yet to us either particularly.
Well, this is a tune called Catastrophizing. And I wrote this, I think it was the 6th of January this year.
And we had a different crisis.
Given the way the rest of 2020 panned out, I'm not sure that it really was such a good idea to write a tune called Catastrophizing.
Should have called it Tempting Fate.
Something like that, yeah. Funnily enough, being written in early January, this tune has a lot to do with bushfires. Yeah. I'd like to...
when you've got a banjo like suddenly arrive, you have to talk for ages because you're not really playing a banjo until you spend about 15 minutes tuning.
Oh, no.
I know, I can't think of anything else to say. What about, thank you Blue Mountain City Council for running Love Local Live.
Yeah, but you.
I'm in tune, actually.
You're
I was
doing a
just-
great job of talking and tuning. There you go.
That's what electronic tuners will do for a man.
So I did have one more thing to
wrong.
say, which was part of what inspired this tune, because it wasn't really a tune that was written. Actually, it's more like a tune that came galloping out at somewhere between 11 p.m. and 1 a.m. And one of the things that inspired it was that really intense liminal space of not knowing whether someone is alive or dead. Unfortunately, I recently found myself in that space again. The outcome wasn't quite so good. So I would like to dedicate this performance to Heather, who is sorely missed.
Alrighty. This is when you say, give it up to Jade Tinkler, and then there's no one in the room but the cameraman, and he's just not going to clap, and though he's doing a fabulous job. Thank you very much, Rick. Did I say it? I got Rick. Rick, I want to give a big shout out to the camera people as well. They're a really lovely bunch of people here at Shelter Studios.
I'm feeling very welcome.
Yeah,
Yes,
they have.
they're lovely.
Yeah, they've really looked after us. Rick, Bruno, you guys are awesome. Miles, thank you very much. And also very much thank you to. It's not really a sentence. Very much thank you, is it? A very big thank you to Charity.
Thank you very much to Charity.
Thank you.
Charity is fabulous.
Yes.
We love Charity.
Exactly. And Fusion Boutique, keep your eyes open. She's starting to pull in some awesome gigs again, so that's really good.
Real live music.
And there's a few
Yes,
kids
yes.
from Katoomba Public School and Lura Public School whose parents have pumped in just to say hello, thank you. Thanks, Ned. Say hello to all the foots. Kylie, thank you for your boys.
Banjo player there as well.
Oh, there's
Oh,
a
something
no. Anyway, yeah, well, that's going to make me think a bit harder about how I play. So, yeah.
pressure.
No.
We've only got one banjo thing left. It's all right.
Yeah. Doing clawhammer style is still a bit new to me, so I'm going to find my way through this one. I want to just say also this banjo is brand new, so I want to give a big thank you to, while I'm at it, to Neil Lauday, who made it, constructed the neck and made all these bits. and then gave it to me in pieces, so I got to feel really clever by putting it together, although it was kind of a bit like Lego at that point. But I appreciated...
It was like a flat pack thing with the instructions.
Yeah,
Did you have instructions to follow?
Yeah.
Okay,
No, it was
excellent.
nothing like IKEA. It was heaps cooler than that. Anyway, so it's a really nice... This is made in North Katoomba. No, just South Katoomba, just over the Tribal line. Sorry, I got that wrong. Played in North Katoomba right now. This is a song about the Blue Mountains. We've lost a few festivals this year, and it looks like we may well get the Blue Mountains Music Festival back next year. Little bird told me today.
Ooh, that's very exciting.
Yeah, I really feel for all of those people. They've got the hardest job in the world, people who organise festivals, and so a big shout out to those people. Winter Magic was one of our first gigs. And the Rhododendron Festival is what this one is about, though. I don't think you've played the Rhododendron Festival many times.
No.
No? The Rhodo Review? Is that part of it?
Yeah, of course you have.
I think you have. In any case, the Rhododendron Festival is the oldest festival of its kind in Australia. And it has a rhododendron princess, now the Rhododendron Royal Family. Once upon a time, it used to be the Rhododendron Queen. And it's my opinion, I was actually having a coffee in Blackheath the other day, saw a real proper queen walking past, and I think we should have a rhododendron queen that's an actual queen, like a drag queen.
Oh, there is a weekend per year that...
The Queen's birthday weekend. Anyway.
Well, yeah, okay. But I'd like the rhododendron queen to be a queen. That's just my little 2 cents worth.
To combine the two festivals.
Yeah, I'm not starting a Facebook group about it or anything, but that's just the throwaway part of this song. And it's a love song whilst the bushfires converge on the Rhododendron Festival. Set, I don't know when. Alrighty. And I begin it on my own, don't I?
Yeah.
You do.
No pressure.
We're all waiting for you.
Okay. She sat on the tractor, a crown on her head. Katoomba City Marching Band played dressed in red. The trombone and diesel wove a delicate thread. It was there that I first caught her eye. It was there that I first caught her eye. The strong men of Lithgow were shoveling coal. The tools of the roof bolters wrote on my soul. Medlow fell in a blazing inferno, but she fell into my arms. But she fell into my arms. I fell in love with a rhododendron queen, and we danced as the bushfires drove the possums from the tree. I fell in love with a rhododendron queen, and we danced, 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 and we danced. Servicemen sang as they toiled, back burning the stool, selling sandalwood oil. The smoke wound its way into our mortal coil, and we danced, 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 and we danced. At the Ivanhoe I told her I was her fool. We drank Wonderburg rum and played 20-cent pool. I lifted her gently of the vinyl bar stool, and we danced, 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 and we danced. I fell in love with a rhododendron queen, and we danced as the bushfires drove the possums from the tree. I fell in love with the rhododendron queen, and we danced, 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 and we danced. Thank you very much, Leigh Burkett. I'd like you to give a little bit of a shout at home around your lounge rooms to Mr. Leigh Burkett on the guitar and the patience. Okay, so that's banjo gone.
The long-suffering.
Oh, long-suffering Leigh Burkett. And playing through a wrist injury as well, just for the sympathy vote. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
terrible.
Yeah.
Agony.
Agony. Speaking of agony, we go back to bagpipes again.
Yeah, that was a good segue. I'll set them up for you, don't worry.
Appropriate.
Yeah.
Appropriate. So we're going to do another couple of tunes written by Paddy. These are new ones to us.
Yes,
These
that
are-
was.
Most of these have been new.
We've
We-
actually been
had a
quite
lot
a
of
bit of
Creativity come out of
Yes.
being stuck at home.
Yes. There was never banjo involved in this band previously. Yes.
We've got COVID to thank for the banjo.
You've going to get a bit of love from the people at home about the flute there. You've the gorgeous
Aw,
air
Thanks,
from
Sharon.
Sharon and
Thanks,
Tassie.
Martin. That's
Sharon's
beautiful.
little Tassie? That's Sharon
Yes.
and Tassie, isn't it?
Yes.
Sharon T, yes. And Martin, people who play flute. Mm. That's the best kind of people to give you
Thanks,
cheering on,
Sharon.
isn't it?
Thanks,
Yeah.
Martin.
Yeah, so there's a little story. There's actually a little story about this next tune. I don't think I've told you guys either, because it is our first time that we've performed any of these last 1, 2, 3 tunes. This one, this one's called. There's 2 tunes involved. The first one is kind of, it's got some twisty turny bits in it, and I named it the Woodford Bends. After 2 things. One, the stretch of road, which you will all know, the Woodford Bends, which is not that twisty and turny. It's just kind of like a fun little
It's like
skateboard
a-
ride.
Simple
Yeah.
little.
Yeah, it's just like this. But there's also a folk festival, Woodford Folk Festival, and there's this thing when you go to a festival or you go to something awesome.
Right.
Yeah, so Woodford, there's also a Woodford in Queensland, which is slightly more famous. And when you go to a festival and everything's beautiful and fantastic, and then you come out, it's like coming out of like underwater coral reef or something like that. I had an experience playing at Woodford Folk Festival where I was like stricken by a horrible flu. And the only thing that really got me through was far too many pseudo-ephedrines of whiskey. And when I was coming out of the Woodford Folk Festival, I just found myself into a terrible... All of the borrowed time that I had collapsed on me, and I didn't behave very well. And it was a little bit like the bends that divers might experience. You know, all of the things in your bloodstream didn't work out properly anymore. And anyway, so that was the Woodford Bends story. The other one is, the second tune is a tune that I tried to write a tune in the style. In the north part of Spain and the north of Portugal, there's a whole world of music that's kind of quite Celtic flavoured, although they don't like to call it Celtic, I don't think. But a lot of people on first glance...
But they have their own bagpipes.
They have their own bagpipes, and we've got some really good friends that play music from that part of the world. There's Senor Cabarles. I want to give a shout out to them if they're listening, and also to Jean and all the people from
The Last Aurochs.
The Last Aurochs, who are really good friends of ours. And we've done some gigs with those guys, one of which was in Petersham. And we've also done a fair few gigging at Petersham Bolo, so lots of love to that venue. But Petersham's where I grew up, and it was a very Portuguese place. And I've left there, and I don't think I'm ever going to be able to afford to live in Petersham again. I tip my hat to anyone who's going to work that hard as to be able to pay the rent in Petersham. So there's a bit of a farewell to Petersham as well, in kind of the style of the Asturian, perhaps Galician / via Petersham.
It's maybe a little bit of cultural appropriation, but we're not shy of that.
No. Well, I grew up...
You grew up in Petersham.
And my surname Connor is a very significant word in Portuguese, so I kind of feel like I have... Yeah, that's probably... Anyway.
It's family friendly.
I managed to survive primary school all right. we're going to go on to do the Woodford Bends after chit-chat, straight into Farewell to Petersham. And it starts with, I think, does it start with just me? No? All right. I think I was doing everything on everything at that point. I had elbows and feet and toes and little wrist bits and yeah.
You're actually turning into an octopus. Leigh's getting some love on Facebook.
Oh, it's about time Leigh got some love. Right back in. Thank you, Martin. And from your daughter, go Leigh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's barracking for Leigh.
Yeah. There's no go mum.
There's no loyalty there.
No, I was like, I actually want to play guitar. I don't like the flute. And so it is. All right, so we are up to, I think, our very last one.
One last one.
And how are we going for time? Are we, like, it's exactly almost perfect. Like, we're like 4.5 minutes before the end.
All right, so don't talk too long.
And we can, well, you know, I think we're allowed to go a minute or two over. Yeah.
All right.
It could well happen by accident. Let's not jinx ourselves.
But having told you not to talk, are you going to talk about the instrument? Maybe?
Hell yeah, I'm going to talk.
Good.
Yes, of course. You know me.
Because I like this one.
Yeah,
You're allowed to talk about this.
This being our last one, this is also a tune that I wrote. I wrote this in honour of the man that's been teaching me how to make these bagpipes. His name is Ian Mackenzie. And yes, he's a He's a Renaissance man. He's a man of many talents. He can play many instruments, and he's also been very patiently putting up with me learning how to do a bit of wood turning and instrument making, and it's been a lot of fun. Also, look, this is the last song, and this will be the last time I'm actually going to be playing with these two super talented people. So, you know, there's a little bit of emotion there, and in some respect, I'm going to be putting more of my time into instrument making, so it's kind of about my personal Yoko Ono, Ian Mackenzie. My personal Yoko Ono is like a 70-year-old man. He's very handsome.
He has a great book collection too, but just don't try and find anything.
That's part of my job, sweep the floor and find stuff. In any case, look, it's been a great journey, and we've had a lot of support, and yes, I've been very blessed to play with such magnificent people. And we're going to go out with a big thank you to KFM, to Blue Mountains City Council, to Shelter Studios,
to Fusion Boutique and Charity herself.
All those people at home who've tuned in, you're awesome. Thank you very much for putting comments in. It makes us feel very special, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's lovely.
And Andy?
Next week, well done. Next week, you need to come back here again, or back to your couch again, because the magnificent Andy, previously known as Andy Isolai, the artist formerly known as Andy, now D.
Next week in the same place.
Do not adjust your dial. And
on Facebook, you can catch D here at 7:30.
She is fabulous, and if you haven't seen her already, you have to check her out, because every time I see her, it's just...
She's amazing.
Yeah, so good. All right, okay, we're going to say goodbye with Lord Mackenzie. Thank you very much.
Lord Mackenzie. Thank you.